my life story, I guess, growing up. I was born in Ogden, Utah, and lived there pretty much until I was in my 40s. So I grew up in Ogden, went to Ogden schools. Following graduation, I went to Weber State College for a year. And then I served a mission in Finland for 2.5 years. And when I came back, I went back to Weber State and kind of muddled about a bit. I looked at some other things, and I finally decided, much to my surprise, that I would major in history and perhaps teach. And I was sort of entertaining the idea of law school, but thought I might teach for a while. And in the process, I ended up student teaching both for the LDS Church and for public schools, and I got a job offer for both and decided to go with LDS Church education. So I did that for 3 years. I went back and got a master's at Brigham Young University in counseling, in school counseling and guidance, and worked for 2 years as a school counselor. I came back to Ogden and worked at T.H. Bell, which is a junior high in South Ogden, Washington Terrace area. And I really enjoyed that. After doing that 2 years, I married my wife. I'd met her previously working on my master's degree, and we got back together. We kind of broke up, and she went on a mission, and when she came back, we got back together and got married. I was 34 at the time, pretty late for our culture, for Utah LDS culture, Mormon culture. Yeah, I got married when I was 34. 34 when I got married. I was 34 when I got married, 34 years old. When we were engaged, and I tell this story, is we moved some of her stuff up to my house. She was still in Provo, but I lived in Ogden. I had a little starter home up there. She was in the bedroom putting stuff in the closet, and I yelled through the wall. I said, so do you care if I read your journals? She said, oh no, we're getting married. I don't have anything to hide. We don't have any secrets. Right? She actually made an entry, and it sort of emblazoned in my memory. It said, I met a new guy last night. He's older, he wears glasses, and then sort of the killer ending was, he's older, wears glasses, he's bald and not that good looking. And so I read that to her. She was quite embarrassed, but I said, it's obvious now that she sees me for who I really am. And the cloudiness, the scales dropped from her eyes, and she saw things as they really are, and began to pursue me quite rigorously, but until I said yes. But when we got married, church education called and asked if I would be interested in teaching for them again. And so we wrestled a little bit on our honeymoon. And I decided to come back and teach for church education. Through some friendships and people I met and so forth, I got invited to go to Nepal on a climbing expedition. We were on a peak called Kantega, which is 2 drainages from Everest, and it's in the Khumbu region of Nepal. And as much as I was interested in climbing, it was good to share that experience with my wife. It was a great cultural experience, as much as a climbing experience. I think, unfortunately, often when we study other groups or cultures, it's easy to compare the best in us with the worst in them, or vice versa. And I think in our world today, most of us agree that it's very easy to get caught in the thick of thin things.